Sunday Night Sound Session, DJ Hyphen.
Jay Moore right here live at the Gorge with my man J. Cole.
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good to see you again.
Yeah, y'all too. For real. I guess people should know, like, we did this years ago. Like, one of my first radio interviews, period, was in Seattle on the Jay-Z tour. I stopped by, came by and did an interview with y'all. I'll never forget it, so never forget you guys. Word.
Man, it's years later, like, what's life been? We talked a couple times since then, but now you are officially one of the main artists in rap. Like, that was your goal.
Yeah.
Years ago, now you're here.
That's true. But it's funny how much I still feel like that kid that's, like, still trying to do it. I still got a long way to go, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I know my goals are further, my dreams are further, because I'm not just satisfied with, like, oh, I put an album out, #1 album in the country, blah, 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 sold this many records. Like, I'm not satisfied by that, you know what I mean? Like, I still feel like I got years worth of work, you know? Jay-Z's on 13, however many albums he's on, like, Kanye's on his 7th, you know what I mean? I'm not, you know, I'm not like, yeah, I'm not satisfied. I'm not confused at all. Like, yeah, whew, I made it. Nah, you know what I'm saying? So I still do feel kind of like that kid that was like, you know, in you guys' radio station.
That's good, man. I think having that mentality is what will keep you in the game.
Word.
It's like if you was a ball player, which you are, but if you had aspirations of being in the league, it's not like you make it to the league and you stop practicing.
Yeah.
You still gotta
No, you're right.
Commit to win.
And then that's the difference, because some people do that.
Oh, no doubt.
Some people, most NBA players make it to the league and they're like, whew, made it, chilling. And that'll get them like 7-8 year career, you know what I mean? Maybe. You know what I mean? Depending on how good you are, but then like it's the ones that really like, nah, it's the KDs of the world. They're like, I'm not satisfied.
You won't be an all-star. You won't make the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
What's it like being a celebrity that probably calls some of those guys friends? Like, I know you're a huge basketball fan.
Yeah.
You probably have some of them in your phone. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. That is pretty nuts.
Do you ever get out and play with them?
No, that's actually my next goal. Now that like I'm in a more like stable position, like my second album's done, I feel like it's exactly what I wanted. You know what I mean? I'm like in a cool place. I was thinking about it the other day when I was playing ball, because there's a gym in my building, like a court, and I was like, yo, I gotta go play with these dudes. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta go, because these guys are like, I know them now. You know what I'm saying? I could really ball against some NBA players. Like, that was a dream back in the day. So like, I gotta use that card. I haven't used it yet.
Who are some of your friends?
Like Ty Lawson, like, and not even in terms of like the stars, like people that I really like, you know what I mean? Ty Lawson is mad cool. Katie.
I would never play with Ty Lawson because he looks like the quickest human being.
Yeah, yo.
I would never guard him.
Yeah, we played with him in Miami a couple years ago. It was like a pickup game. Chris Brown was there, Ty was there. It's like, it's crazy how fast he is. Like, you can't guard him. You can't guard him at all. No, he was like he was clowning around. He was clowning out there. So like, Katie's mad cool, man. Like, real humble dude. Harrison Barnes, I'm rooting for him, man. I feel like everybody's sleeping on my man from Carolina. Yeah, exactly. The kids from Carolina, like, I got, like, you know, even John Henson, like, I root for these kids so much. You know what I mean? Steph Curry, I root for him crazy. You know, Jamal Crawford is mad cool. That's a Seattle guy. You know what I mean? So it's like, I know these guys now. You know what I mean? And when I pass them, it's like a mutual respect, because we all rappers all want to be basketball players. Basketball players all want to be rappers. Like, exactly. So it's crazy.
What do they say to you, like, with the album coming out? Like, are they excited? Have some of them heard it?
Yeah, my man.
Actually, the whole world's heard it now.
Yeah, everybody's heard it now, leaked. But my man Eric Mena, who's from Fayetteville, like, our only thing we got in the league in the NBA, he's from Fayetteville, and I actually played against him in high school. But like, he's in the NBA now. He was on the Thunder for a minute. Now I think he's in Portland. But he texted me today. He was like, yo, the album is a classic, though. I just got to tell you, like, you know what I mean? And that's love, because, you know, he's from the city, period. And, like, for me to watch him, I remember going to a Nuggets game. I think the Nuggets were playing the Thunder. And just me watching him get in the game. Like, I played against this kid. He's a little younger than me. And when he got in the game, it was like I could have shed a tear. Because, like, nobody from where we come from, like, makes it this far. You know what I mean? And he was entering the game. He wasn't no star player, wasn't a starter. But I still felt so crazy to see him to see him walk in the game. It was crazy.
Would you trade it if you could switch careers?
For a year, I would.
For a year?
For a year, I would love to see what it's like to go through an NBA season. I would love to do that. You know what I mean? I would trade it. That was such a dream of mine. You know what I mean? I let them be on tour for a year, and I go play ball for a year. Only if I was as good as them. I couldn't. I wouldn't want to be as bad as I am now. Yeah, exactly. They sending me straight to the D League. Worse than that, to the rec league.
What's the toughest part about like life on the road? Like if you did trade shoes with them and they had to assume your role, and you had to live on the road, and you had obligations with shoes and all that. What's the hardest part about being an artist?
The hardest part about being an artist. Hardest part about being an artist is just I don't know. Like you could say the generic like tour life gets kind of monotonous. You know what I mean? But like I'm still young. Like I still enjoy tour life. You know what I mean?
What about eating on the road though?
Eating on the road is tough. You gotta have.
You have a special diet or anything?
No, I have a terrible diet.
Yeah.
I have a terrible diet on the road. My diet is awful. I don't know. I don't have any complaints. That's why it's hard for me to find like the worst thing. Like I don't really have any real complaints. All my complaints would be petty. You know what I mean? I know my complaints if I was an athlete. Like they gotta really train, and there's a body thing they gotta do there. It's like they really gotta get the most out of their bodies. I don't gotta do that. But there's a constant pressure. My mom always talks about it. Like I don't know how you do it. Like it's a constant pressure to create great things. You know what I mean? Like your future of your life and your career and your livelihood depends on like what you create and how good what you create is.
It's like that Andre line, right? Like if you don't move your feet, like how they
yep. Yeah, so we like neck to neck, exactly. Or when he said, the last thing I don't want to hear when it's going down. What'd he say? You're only good as your last. What'd he say? 'Cause baby boy, you're only funky as your last cut. So you know what I mean? You're only as good as your last joint you put out. Exactly.
Well, this segues perfectly into the new album coming out June 18th.
Yeah.
And I've read a lot of stuff about you talking about being in not necessarily a dark place, but at least a little bit darker than the last time around. Feeling a little bit of pressure. You got the record about Nas.
Yeah.
On that one, you talk about coming up with Workout and feeling pressure from Jay.
Yep.
From the label about that. Like, what's it been like making this album?
This album was an incredible experience, man. Now that it's over and I'm looking back, it's like so many moments and so many like different periods of making it. You know what I mean? Like I remember every song, where I was when I made the beat, started the beat, or came up with the concept for the song, whether I was overseas or in LA or in New York or on tour with Drake on his studio bus. It was my first time with a studio bus, literally waking up on a bus, rolling over, making beats, you know what I mean? Seeing like mountains and desert as we rolling through, and I'm just making music. So it's like the making of that album was an incredible experience. Like I'm grateful for it. And the product is what it is. Born Center, it's out June 18th, but it's came out a little earlier than anticipated.
But the title is definitely literal. But what does it mean, like personally for you?
Personally, it's like it's a mixture of like overall life, whether it be like my personal morals, like friendships, relationships, and then also career things. You know what I mean? It's like the battles, the conflicts that we have to go through. You guys work at radio, so it's like, man, you guys come from a real hip-hop background. So you guys are in love with Tribe, but like you might have to play XYZ artists that you're like, yo, I hate this guy. Like, I hate this song.
Thankfully not on our show.
Not on your show. You're right. But in this business, in the position, not on your show, but...
You have to do it too, I'm sure. You probably go to shows and you're like, personally, I don't listen to this guy's music. Might be a nice guy, though.
Yeah, of course.
I found that, I have a theory, the whacker the artist, the nicer the person.
Yo, yeah. Sometimes. But there's...
I was going to say, you're an opposite example because you're a nice guy and you're dumb.
Well, thank you. There's a particularly like terrible artist that I just met, and he was mad nice. Like it makes me like feel bad that I ever even talk trash about his songs. You know what I mean? Because he was a super nice guy. But yeah, so that's what it is. Like I got a homegirl that works for a label. She works. I'm not gonna say the label, but she works for a label. I went to college with her, and like she's living her dream working at a record label, but she has to press up T-shirts and make marketing plans for like artists that she hates. So there's a conflict there, you know what I mean?
It's not even just like a personal dislike sometimes of the music. Like, oh, this music isn't for me. Like, I don't necessarily like country music. Like, that would be an awkward feeling.
Exactly. And I think that's what the album is saying. And metaphorically, I'm not, you know, these are the, I'm just giving you examples of like things that maybe I was going through or that people go through. Like, you know, politicians have to go through the same thing. They might have started their process with the greatest, you know, ideals and the greatest, yeah, like Barack Obama, yeah.
Like he's part of the system.
Yeah, he's part of the system now. So what Point Center is me trying to beat the system. You know what I mean? Like beat them at their own game. You know what I mean? But in my own way. I guess you could say that. I don't know, but whatever it is, it came out and, you know, it's there now.
The one criticism I've seen of you is hilarious because I've actually heard people say that you're too open and too honest in your music.
That's crazy.
And sometimes I think it makes listeners feel uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah,
But
it probably does.
Somebody feel uncomfortable who is uncomfortable with themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand it, and I like that. If you're uncomfortable, that makes me feel good. You know what I mean? And watch how many, and you can already see it. Like this didn't just happen. I've always been this open and honest and saying things that might make another person uncomfortable. Well, watch and see how many people are now doing the same thing. You know what I mean? And now taking that approach of like super open honesty and like things that will make you be like, oh man, I can't believe he said that. You know what I mean?
Prime example is another artist here at Summer Jam, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Like, you know, Mac has made the same music for years.
Right.
Very honest. And I mean, thankfully for him, it's broken through. But
Yeah.
he's thought about compromising stuff, and it's coming around. Now he's popular.
Exactly.
And so you can do the same thing. Kendrick does the same thing.
Exactly.
Drake does the same thing.
Exactly.
Kanye obviously does the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kanye versus Cole.
June 18th, man.
Versus
Point
Mac
Center.
Miller, right, as well.
Mac Miller's there too. Yeah.
The homie Static Selector.
Static Selector. Yeah.
That's a good day.
That's a great hip hop day. It's a great summer, by the way. It's a great summer. There's more things coming this summer too, but it's like that's a way to kick it off.
Because I don't think there's really been too many records this year.
Rap records, yeah. I don't even know. I don't even. Yeah.
In this calendar 13?
Yeah.
Not yet.
You're probably right.
So, one day.
What made you want to take on the challenge? Because you were a week later, right? And you were like, no.
Yeah, I was June 25th. And what made me want to do it? It just presented itself, and everything on this album, I've been following my gut and following my heart and just doing what I felt was right. And when I learned that his date was confirmed, the light bulb went off, and like my gut was telling me like, yo, move your date. Like, I don't know how it's gonna end, but just move your date. Like, I don't care. Like, do it. And I don't know what it's gonna be. I'll sort it out later mentally what it means, but it was telling me to do it, and I just did it. I made a bunch of phone calls and just moved my date. You know what I'm saying? It just felt right. So many things on this album felt right. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it got me this far, so I just followed my gut and changed my date.
The album, June 18th.
June 18th, Point Center. Buy everybody's album, man. Definitely one time, but then buy mine like 3 or 4 times. That's all I'm saying. Buy Kanye's album, but then buy like 2, 3, 4 of mine.
I got 2 questions.
All right.
So, first question is, if you weren't making music or you weren't able to, be a basketball player, what other career path would you choose? Would you have a desire to
If I wasn't doing this,
or basketball?
or basketball, yeah. If I never, I think the question has to be if I never wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Like if this never worked.
Exactly.
Yeah, if this never worked out, I don't know what I'd be doing. Something that I probably was unhappy with. But if I never wanted to do this, and I was a kid who was just doing something, I don't know, man. There's so many directions I could have went in. But now that I'm older, I wish I would have went into. I wish I would go into something smart. You know what I mean? Like some type of like physics or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, because now that I'm getting older, I wish I was smarter. You know what I mean? Like some people are like, oh, J. Cole, I like him. He's so smart. But I go on websites and read things, and I'm like, God, like I wish I knew all of this. You know what I mean? Or I talk to somebody I know. I got a friend of mine who's mad smart. I'm like, man, I wish I was smarter. So, the older me now looks back and is like, yo, I would go back. I would be a nerd. You know what I mean? I would really like.
But it's never too late to do that.
It's not. But I'm trying to get into a comfortable place. You got Kanye West who's like, he's like super comfortable now. You know what I mean? He's already proven himself, and now he can go chase fashion. I'm gonna go back to school one day, man. Like become as smart as I should have been. You know what I mean? And learn all the things I should have learned.
And the last one would be, we always like the food question.
Word.
So when you're on your travels, tour, what's your favorite food spot, food city, and what's the food item that you
Food city?
most? Yeah.
I already know it's your deli.
Hillside Deli, yo, for real.
Not that one. We didn't know
But that's still real. Every
that. I know that. I
yo,
remember that one.
anytime I land at JFK, I still go by Hillside. I just had it the other day, man. Let's see. Favorite food city. I don't know the name of this restaurant.
Food crazy.
You know what it is? Absolutely. Every time I hit the city, every time I go to DC, I go to Oohs and Ahs, which is crazy soul food. Anytime you're in DC, listen to me. Yeah, it's on U Street. It's on like 12th and U or 11th and U over there by Howard. Yo, listen. Oohs and Ahs. It's like the greatest soul food you've ever had in your life. Like I get the grilled shrimp where they throw the peppers and like the seasoning on the shrimp is crazy. Then I get the yams. I never finish the yams because they mad sweet. I get the mac and cheese, crazy mac and cheese. But then when you're done, it's like you got to give yourself 4 hours for a nap. You know what I mean? Don't have nothing to do after you do that. Oohs and Ahs. Shout out to Oohs and Ahs.
All right. Well, man, good eating, continued success.
Word.
Safe travels, and yeah, man, we're gonna see you again.
Word, man. Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
DJ Hyphen,
Jay Moore.
Sunday Night Sound Session, Cube 93 Summer Jam, J. Cole.
Cold World. Born Center.